We'll figure that out. All right, hello, folks. Tonight, I'm like Michael Corleone in Godfather Part 3. I want to get out and keep dragging me back in. Remember what I said? Remember that when I said I wasn't going to do Hangouts anymore? Okay, but John and Neil A. said, why don't we do this Budweiser 1933 repeal? And I told him this morning, I don't know. It's only going to be around a little while. Maybe there's no point to doing it. And then, but we were talking about some liquor brands and all, and then some people over there in another area were saying, okay, they were saying, yeah, I think it's on your end, microphone.
Is it mine?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what I can do here. So what should I turn off?
Just lower your volume.
Is that better?
It probably will be, yeah.
You still hear me or not?
Yeah.
How's that?
I think it's okay.
It sounds a little better.
Okay.
So, got Jacob coming in.
I'm gonna go over and get my beer. I'm gonna have a beer while you're doing it.
That makes sense. So we got, so then they were saying, yeah, what are we going to review tonight or examine, whatever they, I said, oh, nothing to my knowledge. And then, I said, oh, you know what? I told them I'll buy let me fix that. I said, I'll buy a single of the Budweiser and the 1933. I just muted your mic because I think it was still coming from your end, so you can work on that. And so I did buy this single. It was $1.39.
Tell me if that's better. Is that better?
I think so. We'll monitor it. So I bought a single of this. No, it's still coming in. You might.
How about now?
Put some buds on. I still hear it. You know, like if you call the radio show and you got your radio on, they tell you turn your radio off. It was $1.39 at Mathern's, and if you buy a 6-pack, it's $1.27. So it's really no big price difference at that store. When they do singles, they don't try to. Yeah, that's a good idea. Now Michael's cooking with gas. When you buy singles at Mathern's, they don't try to jack you up on the single price. They just basically divide by 6 or by 4, depending on what it is, and then they'll try to make a fair price, or by 12, because they'll cut up those 12 packs. So singles. Hey, Jacob Miller. Like I said, this is how you stop doing examinations, by keep doing them, I guess, if that makes any sense. I was literally just going to lay down and watch this Mid-American Conference football game. We all know how compelling that is. And I'm just joking, because I do like to watch that. People are saying, well, who are you to say that? You've got Tulane football season tickets. Yeah, that's true. So might want to watch what I say. Hey, look, I poured mine. What about you, Jacob? You had any trouble getting this product?
Jay, where does Jacob live?
He lives in Indiana.
Okay. I keep track of all this stuff on in my book.
I have been to your house, and I know you are very precise about all these things. And Michael helped train me to put a number on it. He was telling me, don't give me that A or that A- business. I want a number. So I said, yeah, that's what I'll do. Like when I make a review, I'll give like a test grade, you know. And I use our local grading scale, which does tend to change from time to time. So, Michael, do you like amber lagers?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I was telling John that my food co-op doesn't sell any macros at all, but obviously the supermarkets all over where I live do. So I have access to a lot of macros too. But I do mostly drink craft beer at this stage of my career. I do like amber lagers.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, look, he's got a Bell's glass. I just have a standard little cheap dollar store glass, but it works very well. I mean, I could have done a Budweiser glass too. I have a number of those. This is kind of like Anheuser-Busch's continued attempt to do craft style beers. We know they've tried to do that over the last 30-something years, not with a whole lot of success. The ones I tried were mostly good, but they're kind of caught, and I'm not a defender of them because it doesn't matter to me, but they're sort of caught in a trap where the Budweiser macro people ain't going to drink them because they don't drink that kind of stuff, because if they were going to drink that kind of stuff, they drink that kind of stuff, right? And then the craft beer people, a lot of them won't drink it because it's from the evil empire, and they don't want something Emperor Palpatine produced. So whether it's good or not, so there's that. So anybody have never tried this before?
Jacob, your microphone is muted.
Yeah, you got some audio problems. Somebody was saying on a hangout I did yesterday, your hangouts always have audio problems. I'm like, you noticed that? I think we all noticed that.
I was instant messaging with Eric earlier, and he wasn't able to get this, or else he would have been involved, I think.
Yeah, he wanted to, but he can't. So, okay, so there we go. It's not even in Massachusetts yet, okay? Jean-Pierre wanted to, but he didn't want to go buy another six-pack. And he had just done the Voodoo Ranger tonight.
I've had that before.
I don't really like New Belgium IPAs. They have a weird, there's something, somebody described it to me as fleshy hops. And I was like, yeah, that's a good description. It's like something I don't like about it, but it's still, they make quality stuff. And I think I did give all their Voodoo Ranger things high scores, even though personally, for me, it wasn't for me. But I did like that pumpkin, what was that, Pumpkin Voodoo Ranger? Atomic Pumpkin. Oh, yeah, that was good. Josh, oh, there's Jacob. Now, Jacob, you want to try it again, sir?
This is my first time having this.
Hey, y'all want to let him have the floor for a little while?
Yeah, first timers go first.
It's pretty good. It just tastes like an amber lager. Not too great. I'd prefer to drink it to just a general lager, but yeah, I'm happy I got it before it went away.
Yeah.
I'll drink the whole six-pack, of course. It's a good beer. Reminds me a lot of the Oktoberfest beers I just got done drinking.
The what? The which ones?
Reminds me a lot of the Oktoberfests.
Ah, yeah, that's what I was saying. I said it tastes like a Marzen.
Oh, really?
To me.
Hmm.
Or a fest beer, that kind of thing. Very bready. So bready. And it's a 6.1. 6.1, so there we're in the malt liquor range. Malt liquor, what you know about that? You heard me? So, people out, yada. I see you got that Bell's Oktoberfest. So I kind of like that 1981 Jefferson Starship song. I wish I could go back in time and do things right from the start and try this beer again and find my way back to Winter Brew, because this was a lot lighter though than what we're drinking tonight. This was another one of those attempts. This was 1986 to make a craft style beer. And I wish I could remember the ABV. I think it was about 5%. But it was a nice amber lager, winter lager, see?
Jay, did you ever get a chance to try the Michelob amber lager that they had? I think it's been a while, but there was a Michelob product that was out at one stage. And I wonder how this compares to that.
You're talking about Amberbach.
Amberbach.
Yeah, we still get that here. It's still sold currently in Louisiana. This one is a lot richer. It's stronger ABV. It has a heavier body. It has a lot more flavor, and it has a much more noticeable hop note. But, you know, the amber lager is, I mean, the amber bock is fine if you want to put something up against, say, like a Yingling or a Shiner bock. I think the amber lager beats those. But then you can go buy a Modelo Negra, and then it starts whipping their tail, you know. I could buy a 12-pack of Modelo Negra for $14.10, and it's going to kill all of those, including what we're drinking tonight, in my opinion.
So, Jay, can I ask a question?
Yeah, and then I'm going to bring John Anile into play because he's been very quiet, and I don't want him to feel like he's not part of this, and he's the one that designed this whole hangout. Okay, yeah.
So, I watched your video where you were drinking this about a week ago, and you seemed to think that this was going to be a one kind of one and done thing. Do you think there's any chance that it would just be a seasonal thing?
Well, the company said it was going to be. That's what Anheuser-Busch. Now, Bill, I invited you, but if somebody could send Bill the link, I'll invite you again, Bill. But
Are you talking about North Carolina, Bill, or Tampa, Florida, Bill?
Tampa. Bill McIntosh, you have his link. Now, that is a problem now, where sometimes people will send invites and they do not go through. But then I've had other people tell me that I didn't get an invite, and then they'll check and they'll say, oh, wait, there it is. Yeah, Jacob, I think what the plan is, they're going to just do these occasionally, which is probably a good idea. Like maybe every 4 months they'll put out a specialty thing, let it get hot, then slowly die out like typically, but then don't try to keep resuscitating, just let it go and then try something new. And well, isn't that the whole craft beer thing right now? It's hot, and then and then it dies, and then it's hot, so then why not feed into it? And then you don't have to make anything like super duper deluxe exploding plastic inevitable. You just make, yeah, it's good. It's got beautiful packaging. You know, that's probably what they spent more money on the packaging than the product. And then you just do something else. Maybe they can have a Budweiser, who knows, like Guinness is doing Budweiser wheat beer, Budweiser, you know, a Budweiser alt beer, Budweiser Berliner Weiss, or who knows what. It may not work, but why not do it? I don't know. But that is what the company said. It's only going to be around for a limited time. Now go, John, go.
All right. Yeah. And about the special release, the limited time thing, I think they would, you know, Anheuser-Busch would be wise to kind of release it every year around this time. There's a lot of Anheuser-Busch, like the Blue Moon line. You have the Harvest Moon, Pumpkin Ale, their Winter Abbey Ale. Those are only released once a year, and they do very well. I think this would do the same if it was released annually around the holidays. But this beer, this is my second 6-pack since it's released a couple weeks ago. The aroma is very malt forward, very sweet. You get a little bit of the hop presence in the nose as well, but mostly sweetness. And the taste is a lot of the same. You get it's very malt forward. You definitely pick up the hops. I'm not sure what the IBUs are. Ron, did you look that up? Because I don't think it says on the bottle.
I tried to look it up, but they didn't list it on the website.
But I would agree with you. I think you said it's probably around 20 to 25 IBUs.
Yeah.
But it balances out the sweetness because it is very malty. And then in the finish, it's not a dry finish. It's more of a semi-dry finish. But it is very enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, I don't think it can necessarily compete with the Modelo, the Negro Modelo. The Amber Bock is probably a little bit better than this as well. I haven't had that in so long though. But at 6.1% ABV, I would take this over the Amber Bock because it is very smooth for a higher ABV beer. And I started out, I mean, I'm more of a malt liquor. I love malt liquor, so this beer is right up my alley. And I would give it an excellent rating for what it is. So I think that if you're a craft beer drinker, you should give it a shot. I know a lot of people are turned off by the Anheuser-Busch, because it's an Anheuser-Busch product, but it really is a good beer. It masks the alcohol very well at 6.1%. It's got a good hop presence, especially for a Budweiser beer. And it's very enjoyable.
I agree with what you're saying.
How do we rank it in comparison to Dos Equis Ambar?
Well,
I like this a little bit better than the Dos Equis.
Ambar's kind of dull, but it's okay. Let's see. I would rank this above it, I suppose. Now, let me read these comments. Captain Bailey says two glasses of beers and a cigar. Dylan Powers says Ronald T. Jacob, well, that's I was invite. Dylan Powers says, how are you? I'm fine. If you'd asked me that Monday, I'd have said I'm recovering. Bart Robinson says, I picked up a 6-pack of the Repeal to date and enjoying one right now. Glad to see you guys. Hello, Bart.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, what's up, dudes?
Billy boy.
What's going on?
Hey, I sent you an invite. You thought I wasn't going to invite you, but you didn't get it, but I sent it.
I thought you totally unfriended me. How about that?
Hey,
Same here.
that is totally not true. No, well, when I set up the event earlier today, I put Jacob Miller in the event, however you say that word, event, 2 syllables, and then I put you, Bill, and then a little while ago, it made me. I found out a way to do this, because they had the other problems with the invite. So I put all of y'all's names on the checklist, and John was watching me do it, and then I pressed send. So let's see, yeah. Lee Russell. Don't ever stop, Jay. Couldn't stand not having my weekly dose of tech problem comedy.
I love it.
We got a lot of that. Okay. Beavis says, am I able to join mates? Oh, well, maybe. You have the beer. Okay. Raining on Your Parade says, I thought the Budweiser Repeal was drinkable. He was surprised. And then they're talking about another hangout with Blanche de Chambly. Mr. Oh, well, we're not worried about those kind of things. Okay, I can't talk about people's background. I'm sitting here with comic boxes. So when I joined, did you just mention me with a malt liquor reference? No. All right. Comic. Hey, Bill, how do you like this beer? Oh, wait, before you say anything.
Okay.
Let's go back to 1995, and I'm going to show you what specialty beers they were putting out in 95.
Okay.
Red Wolf, remember that one?
Yes.
Red Lager. Elk Mountain Amber Ale. Elk Mountain Red Ale. Ziegenbach, which they still make, but most people can't get. Christmas Brew, which I got the 96 version. Never got any others.
Mhm.
They made and the American Original Series is what Anheuser-Busch had. The American Original Series, which was Black and Tan, Porter, the Faust Golden Lager, and Muchiner Amber. But they just went away. So sad. And that's that. Okay, so go, Bill, go.
Go. Okay. Pretty good beer here. The price is right at, in my opinion, at $7.50 a six for kind of a special edition deal. That's what we paid for it here, or I did. It was $7.49 for a 6-pack, but I've since seen a 12 for like $13. So it's already kind of being discounted, but
Yeah.
price is right. Flavor's really good. A lot of people, or some people rather, that I've seen are trying to compare this to Busch Copper Lager,
No.
which is appropriate because it's the same style, right? But it's totally different recipes, right?
I don't even know if it's the same style, honestly.
Amber Lager.
It's almost like a I'll say it was a Martzen beer. I don't think it's too similar to Copper Lager. I mean, Copper Lager was more brown than red. This is more rust red. That one was not nearly as hoppy as this. That one had a rich. You see, now I have to go by recollection because I can't get the stuff. I don't know. To me, they're just a lot different from each other.
And I agree. That was my point. Is I've heard the reference made a couple of times, but in my opinion, they're quite different.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Where people were saying it's just a mimic of the other one. No.
Right. Exactly. And I disagree with that. I mean, I'm serving this at Thanksgiving at my house this year. I think it's cool for what it is, like you guys have said. I mean, a limited edition, come and go type of deal. That might be an excellent marketing strategy for a whole bunch of stuff going forward, rather than, not support it and let it die out. Just bring it out for a couple of, for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever, and then let it go away and let the market call it back. So, but with this beer specifically, I like it. Very tasty, very drinkable, and kind of has a little of sweet malty front and a little bitter on the back end, and very tasty. I like it.
Yes, me too. And what was I going to say? It's like inexpensive craft style beers that might introduce your dedicated Budweiser, Bud Light drinkers to something with a little more character, because they're usually very intractable. They won't branch out, as evidenced by my neighbors next door. When they're branching out from Bud Light, that means they're drinking Coors Light.
Ooh, that's a big step.
Yeah, and I'm not making fun of them. That's what they do. But when I have my windows open, I can smell their cigarettes. So when they smoke, the smoke comes over here, so I can always tell when they're smoking. Just thought I'd bring that up.
This almost. The more I think about it, I remember the Budweiser American Ale. Ron, I know you do as well. I don't know who else has tried that. But if Budweiser American Ale made an ice version of that beer, I think this would probably be what it would taste like.
An ice version. Budweiser American Ale. Well,
it was a darker beer, but it was a lot lighter body, but it has a lot of the same characteristics from my recollection. I mean, this has been years ago, but if the Budweiser American Ale, when it was out, which obviously it's no longer produced anymore, but if they took that beer and, froze it down, made an ice beer with that beer, I think that this is probably very similar to what you get.
Maybe.
I happen to like the bottle and the different color label a lot too. I think this is a pretty sharp presentation for Bud.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. That Budweiser American Ale, I did like it, but it did to me have sort of a little funky monkey. And Hoggy used to do beer reviews. Hoggies, he had talked about how it had like, he drank more and more of it. It had like this weird bubblegum taste. And I started drinking it again, and I said, yeah, he's right. He's right. It's something was like off-putting about it. This one I haven't noticed that, but it almost makes me think they have some kind of molasses in it, like
Yeah,
cane sugar molasses. Isn't that weird?
I can see that. You know, it does kind of linger in your mouth a little bit, kind of sticks to the sides of your mouth, and whereas a lot of other beers, you know, the finish is dry, you don't get any lingering flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, it sticks around a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing.
No,
It's good.
they ought to make a bourbon barrel aged version, right? And you get even more of that vanilla and I don't know. That would be gross to me because I don't like barrel aged beers too much. But I did like that Innocent Gun bourbon barrel, bourbon cask age.
Innocent and Gun is one of the few that does it very well. I'm not a big bourbon aged beer drinker myself because a lot of times it just, I don't know, drink one or the other. But when you combine those different characteristics into one product, a lot of times you get something that's funky. Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like green beans and ice cream either.
Michael, are you drinking this?
So
No, I couldn't get it.
separate. No, you couldn't get it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it doesn't mean it's not here. It just means in the circles that I'm traveling in, it's not.
Gotcha.
It's not readily
man,
available.
That's hard to believe you couldn't get it in NYC, man.
Again, I'm looking in local supermarkets. I'm not, like Jay said, going on the website to see where it's available. I guess if I really wanted to go do that, I could have.
Yeah, that'd be the good way to do it. And a lot of times you could just simply call your local distributor and they'll tell you really fast. Or ask your store like John and Neely did about that Sacred Bond brandy from Christian Brothers. They said, well, we're going to look into that. And then they tell him today, yeah, we can order it. He was excited.
It's amazing what you can get if you just, you know, take the time to ask. You know,
Jacob,
the
what do you
Budweiser,
think,
actually the packaging as well is very cool on this.
man? That's sharp.
I'm gonna save this, I think, and turn it into a refrigerator magnet or something. It's an awesome looking package.
Yeah. Now talking about ice beer, as a nightcap on this, I'm going to drink the Milwaukee's Best Ice.
Oh, man.
I still haven't had the 5 point. Is it 5.5 or 5.9?
5.9. 5.9.
I've never had that version. I've only had the 6.9.
Oh, that's like two different worlds. A very bad world and a very good world. But then some people like the 6.9. Is the only problem is their feedback. The feedback that Molson Coors got was that most people hated it. Some people liked it, but there was 10-to-1 hatred. Yes, Ham's Ice. Man in America that gets Ham's
You
Ice.
remember that?
Who could ever forget? Okay.
It's everybody showing. This is what I'm drinking from a local New York brewer called 6 Point. You see it?
And we
It's got
appreciate
that slim can design. Huh?
And it's called Toppenish IPA. It's a hazy, like West Coast IPA.
You like it? Is it good?
I like it a lot. But I'm an IPA person too. I like most IPAs. So
I appreciate you shaming us on this video with your high quality product.
there's nothing wrong with what you're drinking. It's good. It's just, it's different.
Yeah, and
Speaking of high quality products, now I'm going to show you something. Then this is a little throwback, okay, to when I first started doing these reviews
Okay.
with you, Ron. but I just found this.
Oh, Bazim.
That's classic.
Okay, this is brand new. This is the newest Chelada from Modelo, and if you remember, Ron, when we first did them, Modelo was like the worst Chelada we had.
No, that was the worst Chelada y'all had. I always liked it. That's the one. Which one is
one? This is the new Tamarindo one.
I had that one. I reviewed that. You heard me? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Bazam, that's a good one. I have done so many Cheladas, and I'm telling you, if I never drink another Chelada the rest of my life, it'll be too soon.
I always keep a couple in the fridge, man.
But
I love a good Chelada.
every time I drink them, I like them, but I don't like them, if that makes any sense. Like when I drink it, I say, yes, it has very good qualities and etc. But then I always say to myself, good grief, it's finally gone.
I'll tell you what. I had one of these with a lobster this past weekend.
Lobster
was delicious. Yo, was delicious.
Yo, he's hanging around me too much. Hey, I know people that love those Cheladas and those micheladas. They drink them things all the time.
I hate them.
They're definitely an acquired taste, and it's not something like I don't drink them all the time, but every once in a while they hit the spot refreshment wise.
Hey, where is Gary Owens? Because he was invited. Well, if you like them and they hit the spot, I'll say keep drinking them. Now let's see. So Craig Swenson says, I am turned off by blind allegiance to craft beer. I'm turned off by blind allegiance to basically anything. Now, Geary,
like Craig.
Geary says, never so automatically disappointed. It tasted, it looked like, oh, I'm not even gonna. All right. Hello, Ron. Nice to meet you. Hello, Maxwell. We meet again. Rio and says 6.1. Isn't that malt liquor? That's why I said, what you know about that? You heard me? And I said, label out. You heard me? So, oh, this is ice beer, not malt liquor. All right. Fungal says, what up, suckers? Glad to be back on the beer this week. Okay. Rio and says, Hoggy rants too much. I don't even think he does any videos anymore. I used to rant. I always rant. I'm always ranting. Okay. Ron, didn't you make this? You didn't make this, bud, so it's not on you. But I've got 5 bottles left. I'm running out of room for bad beer. I'm sorry. More money was spent on packaging than on the actual brew. I feel like a sucker. It's so bad, it makes me want to watch football players. He said, it's so bad. It's so bad, it makes me want to watch football players kneel down before the game. Tim said, I wish I could find it. Oh, boy. Well, I'm drinking this Milwaukee's Best Ice. And honestly, and
guess who's here, Jay?
Oh.
John.
I feel a beer ramble coming on. A beer ramble coming on. A beer ramble coming on. A beer ramble.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
A beer ramble.
Well, man, how about yourself?
Doing good. We haven't done these in a while, so I know it's been hard liquor, but hey, that's all good. So,
but I'm enjoying this Milwaukee's Best Ice more than the Budweiser. And that's just me. I'm sorry, 5.9 is more in my wheelhouse. 6.1. I told y'all 6% is my tipping point. Once things go above 6.0, it starts to be a no-no. But what do you think, Jean? Now, Jean, I said I'm not going to do these hangouts anymore. I made a big video about that. No more hangouts. But I'm like Michael Corleone.
Okay, no more. Cosa Nostra.
But I'm no like more. Michael Corleone and Godfather Part 3. Every time I try to get out, they keep dragging me back in. Now, and by the way, that was a horrible movie with terrible acting and idiotic plot, etc.
Godfather 3?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. they had what was it, Sofia Coppola as the Michael's daughter, and you know it was going against the Vatican. That was kind of odd, but
they were trying to save the Vatican. It was just so. I don't even want to get into it. It's just so bad.
Well, as I said, if you see my review of it, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a high mark. There was a tin of sweetness. That my first thought was the comparison was Union traditional lager at first, but as I drank it more and I said, you know, there's a little more sweetness to it. So I'll give that, you know, the added benefit. But I'm sure you guys have heard, and I'm sure that's been brought up tonight, that maybe this is, you know, Busch Signature Copper, you know, repackaged again. I don't know, maybe, whatever. But to me, I enjoyed it. And I think 6.1% with this is the perfect holiday beer to have. Whether it be with something like a Dunkel or, you know, style beer or whatever. I think this is probably as good as Anheuser-Busch has ever made putting this thing together here. So I don't think there's anything negative about this, but you know, others may not feel that same way, but to me, I think this is a winner for them.
Okay.
And I hope it stays past the holidays, as people are saying, you know.
It ain't gonna. Hey, there is no way it's the same as that Busch Signature Copper Lager. I'm telling you that.
Right.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. Jean-Pierre, I got some bad news for you.
What's that?
I can buy this in a 30-pack, right? Less than 1 mile from my house.
Yeah.
And you know what it cost me for that 30-pack?
This was a part time.
How much did it cost you?
$11.
I don't live in Illinois. I don't live in Illinois.
I'm telling they're gonna have a runoff.
This man loves hams. This man is so addicted to hams ice. No, it's $15.99 for a 30-pack of Milwaukee's Best.
But Milwaukee's Best Ice. That's pretty good. That's very good. Now I know you mentioned, and me and a friend of mine is going to be heading to Mississippi this weekend to Moss Point. We're going to pick up some Best Ice, the Beast Ice in Moss Point. And I know you, and I did look at it through the calendar, and I'm at the locator tool. So I'll be making a run down there this weekend to Mississippi.
And they have it in the courts, probably, huh?
Probably so, yeah.
I felt bad, you know, because I drove to see Jean-Pierre, and I'm literally stopping at the gas station. I could have bought him 2 quarts for what? $2.50 plus tax. And I said, I got confused, remember? And I said, oh, he can't get. I said, oh, he gets that. He gets that. It's something else he can't get. So first thing I tell him when I meet him over there, I say, oh, I didn't buy the Milwaukee's Best Ice for you because I know you can get it.
No, I thought they sold it in Daphne.
He said, they don't sell that here. They don't sell that here. I said,
They don't.
oh, that's so bad, you know.
Yeah. So, well, that's my feelings on the, you know, on the Budweiser, you know, 1933 Repeal. I think it's a good holiday beer to have.
Good holiday stuff. Good party. Bring to a party to try for giggles and
Right.
Absolutely.
and whatnot.
Get everybody loosened up.
I think people that don't like this just probably don't like this style, because if you don't like this, but you like Martzen and Oktoberfest style beers, then I don't see how you couldn't like this, because it's very comparable to products like that. And I mean, there's nothing off about it at all. It's very, very good for what it is. So if you don't like it, maybe just look at another style.
Right, because it really does, to me, fit into that Oktoberfest beer style. And it's sort of like, just they waited till after Oktoberfest to bring in their Oktoberfest beer. You know? But like the Beastie Boys says, hey, y'all, it's time to get nice. So it's time to get nice.
Yes.
Now, what was the band that said everybody gets small? Oh no, that was the comedian, that bizarre comedian that played in all those movies.
Not Carlin.
No.
Okay, it's not. Okay.
You know, the guy that made he was in the Jerk and
Steve Martin?
Yeah. Remember that? That was Let's Get Small.
Yeah.
That he said if he was ever a coach, he had a special strategy. He said if he ever became a head coach in football, he had a special strategy. He was going to punt on first down. Steve Martin. All right.
Hey, I saw Heineken today in a brown quart bottle with a cork and a cage on it. Have you guys ever seen that?
Was it the Heineken Dark or a regular Heineken?
No idea.
Could have been the dark, but I've seen the Heineken in the dark. I've seen the Heineken in those tall green bottles with the cork cage. That's like a holiday season bottle, and they sell it at a lot of stores. And you know, you buy it for somebody, and they can take the cage off and pop the cork and drink Heineken like they're fancy, you know, even though it's the same Heineken.
Champagne style.
Maxwell says, and again with us, the actor, a double of The Rock. How does he look like him? Maxwell said, I talked about this before. Yeah, okay, so how do you look like him? I don't know. People said I look like David Spade, but I don't see that.
Rock's identical twin in Alabama.
Hey.
Don't I look just like David Spade?
Wow, that's way off.
Yeah, and when I was in elementary school, some kids, and it was only a certain type of kids, would tell me I look like Jerry Lewis, and I would always say, "What?"
The comedian?
Yeah, I was like,
the dead comedian, huh?
Yeah, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they would always say, "We love Jerry Lewis. We love Jerry Lewis." I was like, "I don't get that," but anyway.
Did you use Brill cream on your hair, like he did?
Oh, no, I never used any cream.
A little dabble, do you?
Yep.
I used cream one time, and then I woke up the next day looking like this, so I wouldn't recommend it.
I like it. Yes, yes.
Oh, man. All right. Well, okay, so the Budweiser 1933 repeal, no one is like, can't believe how good it is like that. We're just saying, like I was saying about that Underwood deviled ham. I mean, yeah, I put it on the crackers. It tastes good. You know, I'm not going to sit there and talk about it all day about how great Underwood deviled ham is, but I liked it on the cracker. It was something to try. And then I tried that Underwood corned beef, which was a little more differentiated, and I really liked it, you know. But so this is sort of like a product like that, sort of like a mass-produced like Campbell's soup, but it's like a little different type of Campbell's soup. So you like it, you do your little examination, you talk about it, then you don't really think about it for the rest of your life. But so my only last comment is that I did like it. I'm not going to be running out chasing behind it. I would recommend people to try it if they want something a little different. And then I'll be curious to see what their next specialty item is going to be. And that's all I got to say about it. What does anybody else say? Here comes
Eric.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's up,
Eric? What's up?
Hi, Eric.
I could not. I think I went to the wrong store. I could not find. I found a whole bunch of Budweiser. Nothing that looked like an amber lager of 1933 variety. So I'm an observer.
Like, hey, you know, like Dr. John said, I was at the right store, but it must have been the wrong time.
Yes.
Any last, and some of y'all know who I'm talking about when I say Dr. John.
I think they should put this out once a year around the holidays, kind of like the McRib. the McRib from McDonald's.
Yeah.
It was a full-time menu item from 1982 to 1985, I believe, and it did really well at first, and then the sales declined. And then in 1986, from 1986 to present day, it's released once a year around the holidays, and it is the hysteria. There's just hysteria surrounding it. The sales are ridiculous. If they did that with this product, I think it would do very well. And they should take a page out of McDonald's book and a lot of these other fast food restaurants that do stuff like this, because they know what they're doing. They're making a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, and I like pork loaf with white onions on a Kaiser bun.
Yeah.
Next week,
Pork loaf.
Eric's drinking an IPA too.
beer hangout.
Racer X. If my legs ever go out and you get blinded, then you could be my eyes and I could be your legs if we're in a big race.
Sure.
Some people know it. You don't get it. You don't get it, Racer X. Get it. Get it. Get it.
Oh yes, yeah.
No, you don't get it.
The band with Paul Gilbert.
You don't get it because you didn't watch Speed Race. So, okay.
It's a band. I like that band, Racer X from the 80s.
Talking about the iconic Speed Racer cartoon show.
Speed Racer. Ooh, this is pretty good.
You don't remember the epic?
I'll do a review. I'll do a review in a little while on my beer channel if anybody cares to watch a review of Racer X.
Is that a local beer?
This is a beer. Racer X is from Terry Public. They're out in the. It says Cloverdale, California. That's in the Sonoma Wine County region.
Okay.
Oh boy, I like that. Sounds like something I would like.
Yeah, the Racer 5 is their single IPA. The Racer X is their double IPA at 8.3%. And I have to go on the website because I'm not sure what the IBUs on this sucker is, but just tasting it a little bit, it's got to be in the 80s or high 70s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Do they have one called Rex Racer?
I don't think so.
Okay. Hey, well, I would like to try that. I've tried the Bear Republic. They had stuff that was really good out from California. We don't get it anymore. Okay. So John and Neely, Jean-Pierre, Jacob, Bill. Last comments on this beer.
I'm with the group. I mean, this is a solid beer. If you're a craft beer guy, or even if you're not particularly, if you're like a macro guy, either one, it's worth a try because it's pretty good. But outside of that, I mean, like somebody said, I wouldn't hurt myself to go get it, but I think once you find it and try it, you'll like it.
I agree. Mark Robinson says, I saw that Heineken quart bottle with the cork yesterday. It was the regular, not the dark. I don't think Heineken Dark is still made anymore, people. I think Heineken Dark is gone.
That was a good beer. I liked that.
Yeah, me too. But I think it is a gone pecan. It's a gone pecan. So, well, I'm going to make a final assessment. Y'all tell me if I'm off track or not. I think we liked it. We didn't love it or adore it, although I did give it an A when I did my review. But you know what I mean? Like, we didn't, but we've had a lot of A beers. So how special is that?
It's worthy of an A.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, hey, we're saying try it. It's something a little bit different from the normal Budweiser. And that's it. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not expensive. It's not like it's going to break the bank.
Right.
Now, next week, we're going to have a much smaller crowd because we're doing something that's not going to appeal to too many people. In this normal group that we have, back when I used to do hangouts that I no longer do, even though I still do them, even though I quit doing them.
What did he just say?
He said he's finished.
He said we're doing beer next week.
Oh, wrong. I said even though I quit.
Ham's ice.
Even though I quit doing hangouts. No, but
Ham's ice.
We're doing the Christian Brothers VSOP Grand Reserve Brandy It is kind of available, kind of not available. If you get the Christian Brothers brandy, the VS, everybody gets that. Okay, like every liquor store in the world has that. But the VSOP Grand Amber, that's a little bit more difficult, even though it's still only $14.99 a bottle. And John and Neely wanted to look at it. Then on December 6th, we got Seagram's VO Canadian blended whiskey, and then I don't know what's coming up next. John and Neely was talking about the Seagram's VO Gold, and as far as beer, that's it. Beer is
Beer is over. Never.
What about red wine? Is that over too?
Yes, John.
Yeah, overrated.
It's
Red
over.
wine. Yeah.
What about barley wine?
Yeah.
Barley wine. There you go.
what I'm trying to say. This hangout should not even exist.
Ooh.
I am not the Who.
Jay, this is just a figment of our imagination. We're really not doing this.
No, it's happening, but I'm not the Who. I'm not the Who that goes on a farewell tour every 2 years. You know, the Who has been doing farewell tours since I've been in high school.
Since Roger Daltrey was 30.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be on here in 2025 talking about, well, this is it. This is really the end, you know. But you know, I don't know. It is over in an official sense.
Which means there'll be more.
I didn't say that. I said it's officially over. But anyway, hey, this was an ad hoc hangout. This was not planned. This was done at the sperm of the moment by
The sperm of the moment.
by John and Neely of Georgia, who suggested it this morning.
Well
Thank you,
done, John.
And I said very clearly that I was not going to do any more scheduled hangouts for beer because I was too paranoid about it, and my personality was not right for hangouts. But
Who cares? Just do your. Never mind. I meant just. Just
But
do
I
what you
never-
gotta do.
The show. What did Queen say? The show must go on.
Yes.
yeah, and then he
Fred-
died, and the band was it. But
Freddie.
Hey, whoa!
Freddie Fred.
Yes, Fred Mercury.
But I never did actually technically say that I would never do unscheduled hangouts. Now that is true.
And we got that on tape, so you're good, bro.
Well, not on tape, but digital video storage purposes.
You
All right.
know,
So anyway, join us next week for the brandy hangout, brandy examination, another John and Neely conceptual audio-visual experience.
it's conceptual, everybody.
Oh boy.
Eric, send me the
Lot of
live
beer.
link
Lot
when
of
you're
beer been
doing the
drinking.
review and I'll watch it, okay?
I got one more and I'm gonna shut it down for the night.
Eric, send me the live link when you do it.
And Jean-Pierre, you know, I do have that unopened bottle of Carlo Rossi Merlot.
Whenever I don't think I can get Carlo Rossi Merlot here, but I could get Pisano and Burgundy, and that's it.
Doesn't everybody sell Carlo Rossi?
Yes.
But it's not universal.
Everybody can get Paisano.
Everybody can get Paisano, but everybody cannot get the Merlot. All right.
What was that song Neil Diamond saying? Crackling Rosie makes me smile. You know. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Crackling Rosie. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, nothing wrong with table wine,
I
especially
actually
around the
have-
holidays. You know.
I actually have Neil Diamond, his greatest hits, 1974, with that song on it. I have a original LP with Cracklin' Rosie and Brooklyn Roads and all those songs.
Turn on your heart light.
I'll put a gun in my head before I buy that. But I have the, you know, the good stuff. You know what I mean? All right.
We love you, Neil, wherever you are.
Okay.
We hate you in Boston, Neil.
I think he's playing the Hershey Auditorium tonight.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, Pennsylvania. Well, anyway, so
is he still wearing those glitter shirts, those black shirts with glitter on them? You know.
God.
Oh my God.
All right.
Yeah.
After hours. Let's go.
now, I'm off of this. I got Mid-American Conference football to watch. I'm missing the game. And secondly, I'm still aggravated with my parents because they could have brought me to that Neil Diamond concert at Louisiana State University Assembly Center, and they didn't bring me because they said, you'll get too tired and want to go to sleep. I said, no, I won't. I will not. But that was it. I didn't get to go.
Hot toes.
Sickening.
Yeah.
Sickening. And then my father could have gone to Ozzy Osbourne with me, but what does he do? He goes and sees Footloose after he dropped after he dropped us off at the concert, and he says, that was a pretty good movie.
Get back.
Footloose did have Quiet Riot in it. Come on now.
What was the theme in Footloose? Hey, get back. There's no dancing. Get back. Really?
Yeah, we went to see Motley Crue and Ozzy Osbourne, and he went to see Footloose.
Wow, that sounded like a great tour right there.
Sharon!
He liked it. He liked the movie. He went to see it over there at the I guess he went to the Robert E. Lee Theater where I saw Aliens, by the way.
Robert E. Lee Theater? Uh-oh.
I'm Ozzy Osbourne. I'm the Prince of Darkness. Sharon!
He is officially claiming to retire in 2018 with one more tour, so he claims.
No, the Robert E. Lee Theater.
Make that money, Ozzy.
The Robert E. Lee Theater in New Orleans was a huge single screen, huge single screen theater, where it was like a really classy place. And I went to see Aliens there. I went to see King Kong in 1976. Not a good movie, except for a little bit of it with
Jessica Lange.
Yeah, but the rest of it was like, when you're 8 years old, it's cool because you're 8. But when you're older, it's like you can't believe how bad it is, But anyway, but yeah, that theater was actually destroyed by Hurricane Katrina, so it's no longer on. All right, well, y'all enjoy your beer responsibly. Eric's got a really fancy beer. Michael was drinking a top-notch IPA from the eastern part of the United States. Eric's drinking.
Oh, he was drinking coffee, was he?
Jake. Oh yeah, he was drinking the 6 Point.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Got hams.
Jacob's got Ham's Ice, and I've got the Milwaukee's Best Ice. And
hey, Jacob, I hope Ham's Ice comes down here into the Mobile area.
I'll send you some in the mail.
Appreciate it.
I will mention this to you, Jean.
You do an exchange.
Y'all can do beer trading. I will mention this to you, Jean-Pierre.
Yes.
There is possibly, I do believe, perhaps there is a locator tool on the Carlo Rossi website.
Okay.
I do think that could be true.
For the Merlot. Okay.
And I paid $12.87 for a 4,000 milliliter bottle.
4,000 milliliters? That sounds like a lot of
4
wine.
liters.
It's a friggin' jug, guy, as we say in Massachusetts.
It's a gallon. So $12.87 for a gallon.
Holy crapola! Wow.
I would say everybody, time to get your stash ready for Thanksgiving.
That's a lot of drum.
I got mine ready.
All right, well, everybody, y'all have a great time. It's time to get nice, and we turning off the hangout.